It's Inktober! Oh, also hello, I'm Zaccura and welcome back to my channel. It is currently October 1st, which marks the start of my favorite time of the year. There's just so much good art, There are a lot of new school challenges these days, Drawtobers and Arttobers and whatever the heck tobers you want. But I'll be participating in good old-fashioned Inktober. The prompt for day one is crystal, and for the last couple weeks I had no other ideas other than drawing an actual regular crystal, like a basic
Zaccura. Language.
I even sketched it out. Let me take the camera off the tripod and show you. So as you can see here, this was what I had. Turn off the color. And originally I was just going to print this out, trace the lines, and call it a day. But then I had a little trouble sleeping last night. So while I laid awake at like 3 a.m. in the morning, it just came to me like, bruh, there's so many other things you can do with crystal. And this image just popped into my head. So I went ahead and sketched it out. Let me see if I can grab it. So this was the thumbnail for the idea, which I drew really late or really early last night / morning? I don't understand time. It's this cool, dark, magical lady with glowing earrings and eyes, and I just thought it was so much cooler. So that's what I'm going to be going with for today. I'm thinking a lot of watercolor, very dark, very saturated, and when doing a full illustration like this, one should probably at least prepare the finished sketch the day before, and it's already like 4 o'clock in the afternoon, so this is going to take a lot of time, a lot of work, probably going to be a little chaotic, but I mean, that's the fun of art challenges. So without further introing, let's get sketching. So the first thing I did was trim down my watercolor paper. A long while back, there was a sale going on at my local art store for these big 11-inch by 15-inch Strathmore 400 series watercolor pads, which is my current favorite watercolor paper to use. It just does the job really well and it's pretty affordable. So I stocked up a bunch on those large pads, and I usually cut them down to half the size to make 11 by 7.5 inch sheets, but this time I felt that that dimension was too skinny and tall for the artwork I was planning on, so I trimmed it further to be 9.5 inches by 7.5 inches. I always get super nervous when I'm sketching on the paper I'm going to be doing the final painting on, especially if I've already done a thumbnail sketch in my sketchbook. You would think that a thumbnail would make things easier because you already know what to do, but for me, I actually tend to get really caught up in trying to make the final image look accurate to the original thumbnail, and I freak out when it starts looking different. This is something I've definitely been working on, just trying to get myself to chill the heck out and just be loose and have fun with every step of the process. Just accept that things are going to look different, but that's kind of the cool part of making art. It's a new journey every single time. Once the sketch was finished, I took a picture and brought it into Clip Studio Paint to work out the direction I wanted the colors to go. Alright, so apparently something got screwed up with my screen capture software and it didn't save the file, so I got no digital screen cap time-lapse footage of me doing the thumbnailing. But this is the result. This is what I'm thinking to go with. I think it looks pretty cool. This is what the picture looked like. You can like see some of my desk there. And then I added all this really delicious color on top. So I'm gonna somehow try to get the colors to look somewhat like this. It's gonna be really difficult because I'm so bad at mixing colors. Also, it's getting dark now, which means we're gonna have to turn on the light in order to film. But ooh, look at that sky though. Look at those clouds. I have to turn on the Todo. I did put a daylight bulb in here, so the light's supposed to be a little more accurate to actual daylight. It's still not so great. I actually did order some lights and I'm still waiting for them to come, so hopefully we'll eventually get this nighttime recording situation down. Also, by the way, my stickers are destroyed. But for now, bear with me. We're gonna have some iffy lighting situation. Alright, so I didn't mix all the colors that are going to be in this whole piece, but really just like the main ones. I got the skin tone, I kind of got the blue and the black for the background, which is actually a mixture of some blue with black, just so it has that richer, more vibrant, saturated kind of black rather than like a really desaturated, colorless black. So now I'm going to tape this down and we're just going to start painting. Let's get to it. So it was like 7 o'clock at night by the time I started with the watercolors. I really spent way too long on this piece. I treated this illustration exactly how I treat my normal illustrations. A lot of planning, a lot of careful thought processes, thumbnails, so forth, which is not the way you're supposed to do Inktober or any daily art challenge like that. And despite having personally done daily challenges so many times over the years, I always tend to go way too far on the very first day. It's a little bit of a tradition, you know, you just want to start things out with a bang. But it does not help to be working on a piece that takes 5+ hours, especially if you start it late in the afternoon like I did with this one. I started this piece at like 4:30-ish. And at some point I started to get to that ugly stage of the painting, and instead of being chill about it, because it happens to every single painting, it's just part of the process, I've been there 100 times before, but this time I started to feel that pressure of the clock and thinking, oh my god, I'm running out of time, what if this sucks? But thankfully I also started getting hungry right around that time, so I managed to tear myself away from the drawing and just stop thinking about it and stop looking at it for a little while. Alright, so it's 9:30 at night right now. I just ate because I wanted to let everything here dry because I realized I was just working and working and working. I was panicking a little because I thought everything was looking really ugly. It was that ugly stage that every illustration goes through. And instead of just leaving it and trusting in the process, I kept on trying to work it and work it and work it, and it was just getting worse. So I decided to step away, came back, and I'm like looking at it now after it's dry and I'm like, alright, not so bad. I was like panicking way too much. Now I'm gonna continue working with it, probably gonna put another layer for the background and maybe start adding in some details. So there's always a tip there that you have to remind yourself to just, you know, when you're panicking and things are going weird, that just look away and come back, and when you have those fresh eyes, you'll know what to do again. When it finally came time to do the line work, I was hesitant because I kind of liked the softness of the shadows and the style, and I wasn't sure if the sharp black lines would be too harsh. I used some dark blue watercolor for the lines near where the glowing crystals are illuminating her skin, but I did use the black calligraphy pen for the rest of the lines, and if I were to do it again, I probably would have just stuck with the dark blue paint for all of the lines, because I do feel like the black lines just flattened the whole thing and didn't really match with the style of the painting. But I mean, I really wanted to include some kind of ink element because it's Inktober after all. Alright, we are finished. I mean, at this point, you know, you can keep going in and like keep adding little thingies, little touch-ups, but thing about Inktober is you gotta just finish and move on. So I'm gonna call that done. Normally I would wait until like the next day before I peel off the tape just to make sure everything's super dry, but we don't got time for that because it is oh my gosh, it's 10:50 right now, so we gotta get this finished and freaking uploaded. So, you know, not perfect, but hey, finished. Finished, not perfect. That's what it's all about. So I'm gonna sign this one here with the white pen. Zaccura. Now, we need to take a good picture. This isn't the best lighting for picture, but I have a bit of a trick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna just kind of set up a nice environment, and then I'll show you a little trick to make sure that the art looks good. Yeah, I think that looks pretty good. And then we take the picture. Alright, so this is the photo of the picture. I actually already started like editing it before I remembered, like, wait, you're supposed to be explaining what you're doing and like recording this, you damn stupid YouTuber. So the first thing I'm gonna do is make this like Instagram size. It's gonna be a square. That looks alright. Now I'm going to adjust the brightness and contrast until just the environment looks good. Alright, now the lighting did not pick up all the details properly with the image, and it just doesn't look so great. So what I'm going to do is I actually went ahead and scanned the artwork into my computer using my scanner. And this is it here. As you can see, it looks way swankier, way better, and I did adjust it a little bit. You may notice some little details appeared out of nowhere. See right there? Boom. I also put a little linear burn on the bottom, as you can see, because after I took the photo I felt like it was just too light on the bottom. So normally when I do scan in my artwork, I don't do touch-ups like this. If anything, I'll probably just like get rid of some dust maybe that got scanned in, because I usually work on my traditional pieces until I'm happy with it completely. But it's Inktober. We ain't got time for that. It's 11:16, bruh. So anyway, this is the scanned image, and what we're gonna do is we are going to import that image. There we go. It's very large, so we're gonna make it much smaller, and we're basically just gonna drop it in over where the actual art is in the picture. Look at how sneaky that is. So this is a way you can take good pictures of your art without necessarily having a great camera or necessarily having amazing lighting, which a lot of people don't. So if you have a scanner at home, it's just a really great way to take pictures of your art. So now I'm just lowering the opacity a little so I can really get it like to the exact size as it is in the photo. And since in the photo the paper is kind of bent, it's probably not going to line up perfectly no matter what I do, but we'll just kind of get it approximate. Then I'm going to put that on a regular layer, so it's like before, after, and I'm just like gonna blend out the edges so that it looks more like it's really on the picture. So yeah, I mean, a lot of these things, I'm sure people will like call me out and be like, oh my gosh, you're such a cheater. Frankly, like, I used to be one of those people that was like, oh my gosh, you have to like stick to traditional ways of doing things, and if you deviate at all or like mix traditional with digital, then like you're a cheater. And then I started seeing artists on social media who do this all the time, and I was like, oh, I guess this is kind of normal. And then I started doing it myself and really kind of appreciating it too, because it still takes a lot of work and it takes a lot of skill to be able to make things look good and make things look like you actually took a photo rather than you just slapped a digital image on top of a picture. Social media art, man, it's the new way. It's the new way. You gotta get with the time. Alright, I guess that's gonna be the picture again. Not the best picture. I kind of don't like all these heavy shadows happening here. I also don't like this shadow going on in the corner. I think it's kind of distracting, so maybe I can just blend that out. So now I'm just going to add my watermark, because we always have to protect our work. For me, actually, the watermark, I feel like, is a lot more about helping people find me if they, you know, end up having my artwork somewhere. Because I download my favorite artists' work all the time, because I just love being inspired by them. And sometimes I will forget who was the artist, and I have to go and like search Google for it. So I think that by adding your contact info on your image, it's more about just helping people find you. And I mean, protecting is good too, and it's important. And there you go, that's Inktober day 1. Crystal. It is 11:27 now. I have to upload it online. Alright. It is currently October 7 when I'm recording this outro, a week after painting this, and update on the lighting situation. The lighting setup that I ordered arrived. You're looking at it right now. Check it out. I'm going to put links to these items in the description box because I know so many artists struggle with overhead lighting and camera setups. It took me forever to research and figure out a solution that would work in my tiny little working area. So if my hours of research can help you guys at all, then there you go. This video is not sponsored, by the way. I did buy these things myself. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed watching the process of this Inktober day 1 illustration. I did shoot this video a little differently than normal. It's a bit more vloggy. So let me know in the comments if you liked it, if you enjoyed it, or what your thoughts are. Also, I realized that this illustration barely had any ink in it despite it being Inktober. But truth be told, my colored ink bottles dried out. Very, very sad. So I used watercolor, which is kind of the closest thing to ink, I think, I feel like. But if you've been following me on Instagram, then you know that for the last week I have been doing much more traditional black and white pen and ink drawings. Like that was day 2, so I just wanted to do something, you know, a little special and different for day 1. If you're not following me on Instagram, you definitely should because I'm posting daily over there. But of course, I will have a sketchbook walkthrough at the end of the month here on YouTube, showcasing all of the pieces. So be sure to subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of those upcoming videos. And if you enjoyed this video, please be sure to hit that thumbs up and drop a comment down below letting me know what you think. As always, if you'd like to support me in this channel, you can go check out my website /shop, Zaccura.com. I have like stickers and prints, and we are a little out of stock at the moment, but I'm hoping to get things restocked and some new items out too by the end of the month or maybe start of November. So you can also subscribe to my newsletter on Zaccura.com because I always notify my newsletter subscribers first whenever like new items drop and stuff. And thank you guys so much for watching and listening and spending some of your day with me. I wish you all the best of luck with any art challenges that you may be participating in, or just your art in general. And until next time, stay awesome, stay inspired, always. See ya!